Hello.
Hey.
We're back.
Yeah.
Again?
The eve
Again?
of 4th of July, and I'm glad to be here. I'm tired, but I'm glad to be here. I think, yeah. We were talking before we came on, Jess, what we were going to do tomorrow. Are you going to the parade?
No, ma'am. I am not a 4th of July celebrator. I apologize. I am American, but there are different reasons why I like the 4th of July, not for the big booms. I apologize. I'm just not.
Yeah. But Mud Lover, Mad Max, you guys are going to the parade, yeah?
Heck yeah, they throw candy.
They throw candy. You better
and
get out
there.
there.
The Clydesdales are going to be there.
The Clydesdales will be there tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
The
Clydesdales.
Yeah. Dirty Birdie, you going to the parade?
Why? I'm sleeping in.
The Clydesdales.
Why?
Well, look.
I mean,
so 4th of July
I'm
is
47 years old. I don't care to. Yeah. No, I'm just sleeping in. I'm just going to sleep in.
You're sleeping in? Okay. Yeah, when we do the parade, because we've done the float several times for the paranormal group, but you have to get up at 5 and get in line like at 6:30, and then you're sitting there for 3 hours until the parade starts, and it's a long day.
That's true.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's a really long day. So
and us vampires, we melt in the sun.
Yeah, definitely. So we have a good show tonight. Tonight we are talking about this is more of Messy Jessie's trip. It's kind of spurred our discussion last week of let's talk about Arlington National Cemetery. Because you went on your recent assignment.
Yes, I did.
Yes. And so we thought we would look at it from like historical through the paranormal, right? So let's get into Arlington. We didn't do introductions. I guess we should do introductions. I'm so sorry. I'm here with Messy Jessie.
My name is Jess. Mud Lover.
My name is Jeff.
Sorry. We can't be serious all the time.
I'm here with someone who looks like they're not allowed to play with fireworks.
Oh.
Mad Max. That's right. That's right. I have priors. And I'm here with the one and the only. Either one of you that won a Dirty Birdie. Thankfully, there's only one. I don't know.
The worst spy ever.
The worst spy ever. And then we have the four-wheeler queen that can get obscene.
With no gasoline.
Oh my God.
A quad.
Okay, you know what? Our introductions just really suck.
We just went off.
Let's just go on with the show. Okay, Mad Max, take it away. You're doing the history of Arlington, and I'm really curious. I did not look it up because I wanted to hear it from you.
Well, and that's mighty nice of you. Arlington has not always been a cemetery. Arlington actually before Arlington was a national cemetery, it was part of the Arlington estate. And the Arlington estate was originally owned by George Washington Parker Custis. Now, remember back in those days, and if you don't know, when people did not have a name for their child, they would name them after famous people, George Washington. There was a lot of Abrahams. There was a lot of Thomases. And some of those are biblical names as well. But a lot of people named their children, especially their male children, after the founding fathers. So the more you know. Anyhow, um, it was John Parker Custis inherited that land before when he came of age after being in a trust, as his dad died when he was only 4. So John Park Custis got this land in a trust when he was 4 years old. It was originally part of 18,000 acres, and it was owned by the Park Custis family. Arlington, they began building Arlington House, and they finished building Arlington House in 1818 to be a home and a memorial for George Washington, the original George Washington, but he died in 1799. Custis left his house to his wife when he died, and he wanted her to live in it and run it, but never to sell it. Upon her death, it went to her eldest grandson, George Washington Custis. There's a lot of Georges. Can you imagine? That's like George Foreman. Every one of his kids, George. So, hey, George. No, the other George. No,
It's
the
like,
other.
are you George the Second or George the Third?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In May of 1861, the Confederate aligned with the Virginia Mafia. Now, remember, there were sympathizers in the North that aligned with the Confederate soldiers. And there were sympathizers in the South that aligned with the Union soldiers. So with the help of the Virginia Mafia, they captured Arlington and in 1861. Despite not wanting to leave, Mary believed that this estate would be recaptured by Union soldiers. So she buried all of the family treasures on the grounds and left for her sister's house. So I can imagine wherever Arlington House is, you can't use a metal detector there. I'm sure that's already been gone through. May 1864, Union Army suffered mass fatalities, and they were ordered to find suitable sites for new and a larger national cemetery. Arlington Estate was the most suitable. Also was a factor believed to be the residence of Robert E. Lee at that time. So in essence, what they did was they took his house over so he could never come back. And in 1864, while the war was still ongoing, the Union bought Arlington for $26,800, which is about $538,000 in today's money.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. The property was placed in a tax sale for allegedly $92. And Mary did send an agent down to pay the back taxes for it, but they would not let him do it. They refused to accept any money for it. 1874, George Washington Custis Lee sued the U.S. government for claims of ownership of Arlington. In 1882, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in a 5-4 in Lee's favor. Now, remember, this was George Washington Custis Lee, not Robert E. Lee. Mm-hmm. Following the decision of Congress, the estate was turned over to Lee. By this time, though, he was more interested in the money, which makes sense, and he sold it back to the government for $150,000, which is about $4.2 million now in 2024. In 1900, the last remaining residents of the village departed after the 56th Congress appropriated $75,000 to settle all the debts for them. Pretty interesting the way it kind of played out. In 1864, it was confiscated by the Confederacy, which makes 100. I mean, if you think about that, is quite a strategic move. It was established in the Civil War. It was officially established May 13th of 1864 during the Civil War. The land originally was Robert E. Lee's, and they took that away from him. There are Confederate graves there, but they're only on the family, the property that was owned by the Lee family. which is kind of interesting. A community there's a place out there called Freedman's Village. It was a community of freed slaves, and known as Freedman's Village. It was established on the property, and many of those people are buried on the cemetery, and they're in section 27. Memorial Day, the first official Decoration Day, right? That's what Memorial Day used to be called, was held in Arlington Cemetery on May 30th, 1868. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which will be coming up a little bit later, is also there. There's a couple presidential graves. There's only 2 presidents that are buried there. It's John F. Kennedy and William Howard Taft.
Really?
There's a memorial. Go ahead.
No, I didn't know that there was only 2 there. Okay.
Yeah. And there's specifications to be buried there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's certain criteria which will be covered a little bit later to be buried there. You just can't make it to Arlington, as the song says. There's a memorial to the Challenger. The cemetery contains a memorial to the 7 astronauts in the Challenger disaster. And it's getting to capacity. Arlington National Cemetery is facing space limitations and may eventually just become a shrine. Mm-hmm. And they actually have an app. If there's specific things, or you have family, or you just want to go out there and look at stuff, there's an app that you can download, and you can put names in there, and it's called the ANC Explorer app. And you can go through this app, and you can find, like I said, family. You can find out if who's buried where. It's pretty interesting stuff. And the volunteers that have went through and cataloged everything have said there's a lot of interesting things that go on in Arlington, and somebody will talk about that a little bit later in the show too. I'm kind of bummed that there's getting to be limitations of the space, though.
Yeah, I mean, the city's built up all the way around it, right, Jess?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's just, there's a lot of changes now when you go there. There's now guards at every post, and you have to go in. You can't just walk in like your normal cemetery anymore. You have to actually pay to go in. But I believe all the proceeds go to the upkeep of the area of the cemetery. So, I mean, it's not like it's going to the government. It's actually going to keep up with the maintenance of the cemetery. So.
Well, that's kind of cool. I don't have a problem when proceeds go back to stuff like that. No, if it genuinely goes to the upkeep and and to make that place. I mean, every picture I've ever seen of that place is just beautiful rolling hills and just incredibly beautiful to look at. And I have no problem with my money going to stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think I sent a picture of the first area that they started doing the burials. And it looks like a Roman Colosseum with the wisteria hanging all over it. I think I sent that to you, but I'm not sure.
Let me look. I think you did, but I'm not sure.
So that was the actual starting, from what I understand, of Arlington. It's really pretty. Yes.
Oh
that's
gosh.
It right there.
Yeah.
That's, I can't think of it. What is the name of that?
I can't remember. It was so rainy that day, and that's one thing about being in that area. You get this, and I'm sure Colleen can contest to it, but when rain comes in, it gets humid and hot, and it rains. So yeah, we were kind of in a toward area per se, like a motor car. You can't drive in there. So if anybody ever tries to drive in there, you can't. There's only accepted motor vehicles that will go in there. So
this was adjacent to the amphitheater section where the dignitaries could stand, and it's pretty revered. But I just get chills when I walked into the cemetery. The first sign that you see, Jess, do you want to talk about that?
So when you walk in, there's this gigantic gate, and on each side of the gate, they have like, I think it's angels or something like that. And they have each of the branches gold. So these gates are made with gold. And I'm just getting chills just thinking about it. But it's like when you walk in there, I swear it's like two different worlds. You know, you walk in and you are just overcome with emotion. You're overcome with pride. You're just like, oh my gosh, these people died for what they believed in, you know, and that's something that we have to give respect regardless. And it's very sacred ground. Like there was a sign that I seen, and I'm sure Colleen's going to bring it up. I can't remember what it said, but something about the hallowed grounds. So
it says, please conduct yourself with dignity. These are hallowed grounds. Mm-hmm. And it just took the breath out of me when I saw that sign, because then you see people not being dignified, running through there and littering. And it's like, this is the most hallowed grounds we have in the nation. Be dignified when you come in here. And bothers me a lot.
Yeah. I had a couple, we were going to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and even though it was raining, and kids will be kids, but please don't let your kids sit on tombstones. That is disrespectful in my eyes, regardless if they're military or not. It's just not okay. But that's my spill. So
no, I agree. So when you were there, I know you saw the changing of the guard, and we're going to talk about all of that. But what did you feel when you walked through there? Because you have such abilities. Did you feel like it was a place of rest? Did you feel like there were spirits that are not resting?
I did get a little bit of both. I mean, we have to remember there are a lot of people, men and women, that were buried in there that were taken very suddenly. And also, like, they also knew what they died for. And the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, that one, when you go there, there's so much energy around it. And we have to remember too, when we're people, we also conduct that energy around this whole area. Like, believe it or not, we are conductors of energy. And when I got there and I was able to see the changing of the guard, the energy with those men and women now, there are women that do it now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. And very rarely, I didn't see, but that's what they said, that women are now approved to do the guarding of the tomb. You can feel the pride and the seriousness, and it's not an act. This is very real. This is very real to them, and this is very real to the people who go there. And there is utmost silence. Like, it's crazy. And I did see a couple things, but we can get into that after.
Okay. And you were with someone who is in the military, who was in the military, veteran, and how did was this his first visit to Arlington?
Yes. And I can tell you that, he is a Marine. So, I mean, seeing the Marine Corps, everything, was very prideful for him and very respectful. And of course, he respects other branches as well. We're all brothers and sisters. So, yes, he was very proud. And yeah.
I don't think, I think I cried a lot that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Bertie just left, and I don't know where he went because he was up next.
That's why he left.
Maybe he was emotional.
I guess. I don't know. It's like, come on, Bertie, come back. What is amazing to me while we wait for Bertie to show back up here is the precision that everything's laid out on, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's so precise. Everything is so precise. Oh, thank God you came back, Bertie. Okay, so Bertie, next, you're going to talk about the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So, and kind of the history behind that. Did you want to go ahead and take that?
Sure. So, since November 11th of 1921, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is pretty much the heart of Arlington National Cemetery. Now, how this started was that all countries, I mean, Germany, France, there's all sorts of countries that have taken this up, is that a sacred memorial site of the grave of 3 unknown American service members have they passed away, and pretty much you can't identify them.
You might have to speak up a little bit, Bertie. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Sorry.
So you have there are 3 unidentified soldiers there?
Yes. During Armistice Day in France, sorry, I can't. This is so. Sorry.
All right, so we have the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. I don't know the actual specs behind the specifics behind the tomb, but it has been continuously guarded since what year? Do you know?
1937.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, and it's watched over by Marines, the old guard, right? I believe they're called, and they've continually stood the post to honor the unknown soldiers.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I was just saying that according to some of the history that I was reading, it includes the grave sites of 2 other unknowns, one from World War II and the one from the Korean War, who were buried under 2 slabs between it and the memorial amphitheater behind it. And if anybody's been there, the amphitheater is gigantic. And all this is made by marble, like heavy marble. So when it rains, be careful because you'll slip and fall and break your face.
Yeah, the amphitheater. I think I found a picture of the amphitheater I was going to show. It's I have to remove some of our images. Interesting. There's the large amphitheater behind it that you can walking and talking and chewing gum at the same time.
That's how I fell, because I was walking and chewing gum at the same time.
That's the amphitheater.
Oh, that's how you knew about the marble.
Yeah. So there's an
Oops.
amphitheater behind the tomb, and then you can stand. And don't you stand on the backside of this to watch
Yes.
the changing of the guard? Yeah.
Yes.
So on the backside of this amphitheater is the tomb, and then where the guards walk. And yeah, it's really emotional to see it. At least it was for me. The laying of the wreath and the changing of the guard is something. So I think Mud Lover, you were going to talk about the Marines who were doing the guard, the changing of the guard.
Yes.
And what it takes to actually be in the old guard.
Yes.
Hi, Sherry.
What?
Are we ready?
We're ready.
Isn't it true that the guards are out there on that tomb 24 hours a day, 365 days, rain, snow,
hurricanes?
I think I sent you a picture of the soldier that I caught. It's actually a picture I'm going to print and put it on my wall, which is really cool. So I think I sent it to Colleen.
Okay, I'll try to find it. Okay, Mud Lover, go ahead.
Am I back now?
You're back, Mud Lover? I guess we haven't.
They don't wear rank insignia because
it looks like we're losing Mud Lover.
Yeah, we have some technical difficulties going on.
Yeah, so this is part of the walkway for the tomb, and one of the Marines.
Hi.
Hi.
Look at that. She clicked her heels like Dorothy. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Here we are.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on in there. Okay,
that's
now
okay.
I hear you twice.
So let's go ahead and talk about the Marines there, Mud Lover.
Okay, so they don't wear insignia because they don't want to possibly outrank one of the unknown soldiers. Okay, this is awkward.
Okay.
I'm hearing myself.
That's because you're probably in the other studio. You have to log off from that one.
Oh.
Yeah. So you go ahead and do that, and I'm going to share some screens. So what Mud Lover was saying is that the
there
Marines,
we go. Now I'm back now. That's much better. Okay. It's also said that it's the third least awarded badge behind military horseman badge and the astronaut badge, being that it's rare and difficult to get, and only 20% of people who apply actually get chosen.
to be the guard?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know it was that low. Wow.
Yeah. Their glove, they wear wet gloves because it provides better control to hold the rifle. The weapons issued are the standard at the time they are posted. They currently use an M14. Let's see. Sig Sauer created 4 special pistols for the old guard, which are made from wood from the ship that served in the Spanish-American War.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What are the...
oh, sorry, go ahead. Me and you do this.
No, go ahead.
Do you know, like, how many steps they take? And
yeah. So it's 21 steps. I'll do that.
Makes sense.
It's a 21 gun salute.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And I just went, while she's looking at that, when I was there watching it, that's the one thing that you will hear and you'll physically see is it's like they're floating on that platform. and how they so precisely walk. And then the other thing that really stands out to me is the clicking of their heels.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Even now I get the chills because it is so powerful to watch them and just hear that sound.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine. So their process is it's a 21-step march down a 63-foot black mat, and then they turn towards the tomb for 21 seconds. Then they turn and face the opposite direction, and they switch their weapon to the outside shoulder. Then they wait 21 seconds. Then they march 21 steps back, and they turn and face the tomb for 21 seconds, and then turn and face the opposite direction, switch the weapon, and then wait another 21 seconds. And they do that for their entire shift.
That's amazing.
I also read that they say they count in their head constantly for their shift. I'm always bad with my notes, but to keep their focus.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. So originally they were placed.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say originally they were the guards were there to keep people from having lunch on top of the hallowed grave sites, but over the it just became a necessity because people are defacing and touching and just disrespecting in general. And unlike the Buckingham Palace guards, the Arlington guards will take any steps necessary to deter encroachment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can't go up there. You can't touch it at all.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's sad though that it says so much about society that we have to have a guard to prevent vandalism and everything else.
Yeah.
But what about I know their uniforms. I read somewhere a long time ago that like the uniforms that the guards wear, it takes them like hours to prepare them for each shift.
Yeah, 8 hours. 8 hours it takes them to prepare for their shift. That includes preparing their uniform and their weapon.
Mm-hmm.
How long do they walk during their shift?
The shifts are so in the spring, late spring to early fall, they switch every 30 minutes. And then late fall to spring, they switch every hour. They work 24 hours straight on alternating days, on 3 alternating days. And then they get 96 hours off.
And they have particular requirements for the rest of their life, don't they?
I did not come across that at all. Their tour for this assignment is 18 months, but nothing I read did I see what they do after their tour.
I believe there's a few things. This is a totally voluntary, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Marines volunteer for this. They have to have an unblemished military record.
Correct.
They have to be between 5'10" and 6'4".
6'4".
And and like you said, Jess, women now between 5'8" and 6'2", with a proportionate weight and build. They must be in superb physical condition, and they undergo a 2-week trial and pass a 7-page history test on Arlington to even be considered.
Yeah. And then they have to memorize it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And then I had read years ago that they cannot drink for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if that was true, like if that was just video chatter. I'm not sure, or internet chatter.
Hmm.
But
I think so, but I was going to tell you too, I found that the first female that did the first changing of guard was October 4th of 2021. Her name was Guard Sergeant Chelsea Porterfield, and who was the first woman to hold that position. So hoorah to her.
So looking back on some of the history, the first guard was posted in 1926. And that was, like you said, Mudlover was to deter disrespectful behavior. Before that, the tomb was unguarded for several years after the burial of a World War I unknown soldier. And like you said, since 1937, that's when they started the 24-hour guard. And there's also some Army Guard units or Army units that guarded the tomb that hasn't always been the Marine Corps.
Right.
Yeah, I think they were prior to the Marines taking over, because the Marines take everything over. But they live, you got to understand, huh? They live underneath the tomb. Their barracks are underneath. So they have to, this is a 2-year commitment as well. So and just like you said, they cannot drink alcohol for the rest of their lives. And
I've heard that, but I'm not reading that anywhere.
So I just found that on the physical traits of the guards. What are they limited to? And that goes to the 5'10" and 6'2". Their waist cannot exceed a 30 inches. So I can't do that. They have to commit to 2 years to guard the tomb. They live in a barracks below the tomb. They cannot drink alcohol on or off duty for the rest of their lives. They cannot swear in public. They cannot disgrace the uniform, fighting, anything like that. Drunk in public, they are not allowed. That's one thing that is pretty interesting. After the 2 years, the guard is given a wreath pin worn on their lapel, signifying that they served as a guard of the tomb. And there's only 400 individuals that have that wreath.
Oh, wow.
So their shoes are made of very thick soles to keep the heat and the cold from their feet. They're metal plates, so they can extend the life of the heel, but so you can hear them as well. There's no wrinkles. They like you said, it takes them a lot of hours to get their uniform dialed in. The guards have to memorize who they are and where they are interred. And among the notables are President Taft, Joe E. Louis, the boxer, and Medal of Honor winner Audie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
So they spend about, like you said, about 5 to 8 hours on their uniforms a day, getting ready for their duty. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Just incredible what these individuals go through.
Yeah. Didn't they find out who was one of the unknown soldiers? I believe it was like in 94. They did a DNA test and found out who, I think it was Michael Joseph Blassie. He was I believe he was in Vietnam in 1972. And he was shot down there, and they decided to do a DNA test. His body was exhumed in May 14th of 98, and then found out where who he was, and was sent home to his family in St. Louis. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, so the tomb is also there, I think, to represent any unknown soldier. It's not just those few. I mean, over the years, it came to represent all of our unknown soldiers wherever they lay. And Yeah, it's pretty emotional if you go. It's when you see the changing of the guard, when you see the laying of the wreaths, and the wreaths I think are changed every single day,
Yes.
maybe multiple times a day, and it's pretty interesting to watch. There's a YouTube video that was just posted, and I saw it last week, of a guard who just retired, and his little boy was there to take his lapel pin for him. And it was, so you watched his final walk. He laid a white rose on the three, you know,
Yeah.
the three areas. He laid the white rose, and then he saluted and he took off his gloves, and he was retired. It was amazing to watch, and I was all teary-eyed because I blubber over all of that kind of stuff. It was really emotional. And then his little boy was there trying to be all proper. He looked like he was maybe 9 or 11 years old. You know, it was really cute. It was a really moving, and it just happened. Like, he just retired in the last couple of weeks. So it's really something.
And it's super important to, teach that to your kids even now. Like, I think it's important to let them know. It's
very much so. I didn't expect, when the first time I went there, I didn't expect, like we said, we were surrounded by the city. You're just, I took the subway, and then you walk a little ways. You don't have to walk that far from the subway to get to Arlington. I didn't expect, it's like almost like the moment you walk through the gates, I couldn't hear the city. I don't know if that was an emotional thing. Did you experience that, Jess?
I will have to agree with you. And like I said, I do believe it's like two different worlds, it's so much. I mean, you can hear a little bit of the traffic on the interstate, but I do believe that you go in there, and I think it's just because we're so emotionally charged and so focused on everything around us, that we don't hear that. We try to have that peace if we can there.
I thought it was really, really interesting because I wasn't prepared for that. I just remember walking through there, reading the sign, kind of getting my act together because I was so emotional, and walking up the first road out of the visitor center, and everything shut down. All my hearing shut down. I was just in the moment there. It was a beautiful summer day, and it was just, it was really wild. I really wasn't even paying attention too much to the kids after a few minutes. After I walked in, it was more, walking through the rows and looking at names, and then making sure that I saw the changing of the guard, and seeing Audie Murphy and all of these different tombs and graves that were pretty amazing. Yeah. So there's some paranormal stories attached to it. What did you experience?
Well, first I wanted to tell you too, because it just came to my mind that people who are in the military are buried there, as well as family members, like spouses, can be buried there. I don't know if that was part of the. I thought that was pretty interesting too.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I was kind of like, really? I always thought it was just military, which it is, but they can have their wife buried with them.
Interesting.
Yeah, or their family members, like a plot or something. They can. Oh, wow. Of course, they got to be higher up a little bit, like general or something like that. Yeah. So when I got there, obviously, I talk about how much energy is there. When we got done with the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, we took our little tram, and we were going to go see the president, Kennedy. And forgive me, I'm not much of a, I respect Kennedy and his history and what he's done, but I just don't like presidents. I want to see actual people who fought for this country and died for this country. And let me tell you, boy, did I ever. So we were, before we got to the house, the original house is there on the grounds. And I had an experience where I looked over and I seen this man, and he was leaning up against the tree. And I'm like, why is this man standing there? And it dawned on me that he was in kind of, I thought they were doing like reenactments maybe. And it, you know, because he was like an old time, like 1950s uniform type. And he was just leaning up a tree, just staring. And it took me a minute, and it didn't hit me until I got, you know, almost down to the visitor center. And I'm like, okay. And come to find out, where I seen him were a lot of some of the World War I and II were buried there, because there are sections. There's also a lot of Civil War people that were buried in there too, just FYI for anybody that don't know that. And I guess it kind of goes hand in hand with the Gettysburg. There's so much energy. And then I couldn't really nail down everything completely, but that one experience was, and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, because I just, there's so much there. There is just so much there, and I can't. Yeah.
There's also that's fascinating that you saw that gentleman there, because obviously what he's buried there. There's a legend of the mourning lady, as in mourning the death. Did you hear about this one while you were there?
Yes.
Yeah, so she's a lady dressed in black, and she's the ghost of a woman who was betrothed to a soldier of the Civil War who's buried there. It's claimed she visits the cemetery. She's wearing a black gown like you would wear in the Civil War era, and she's seen kind of wandering the grounds looking for him. So that's pretty interesting that in death, she would go try to find his spirit, right? To reunite. Yeah. So
there is also another story too, that there is a soldier who rides with his horse through there. Not through there, but it's his spirit, like with the horse riding. I've heard a lot of that too. You know, so I don't know if it's generally like anything in particular time era, but I heard a lot of that too.
Oh, yeah. I guess a lot of people hear whispering through there as well. Again, like we said, when you walk into the gates, you really don't hear a lot of the noise outside. So it's interesting. They are hearing whispers, and you know, there's ideas that maybe at one time this wasn't like a plantation land, and that there were slaves on this land, and that there could be some of the ghosts and the energy of people who were enslaved at that time, who worked that land and lived there. So people also do hear, and it's kind of interesting to me when these claims come up, the rattling of chains. In all of the paranormal investigations that we have done all over the country, I've never once heard the rattling of chains.
Yeah.
That's a Scooby-Doo thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And so, and that it's weird that you say that too, because when we were on this tour, they were saying these, you know, on this plantation, they were treated very respectfully.
So they wouldn't have been like
terrible.
chained up. So
no, as terrible as it is and was back in those days.
Right.
But this family actually, from what I understand, or I could be wrong, our listeners can reach out and say, no. That some of them, they were actually treated very respectfully. They liked being where they were. So I don't know if that's, but I didn't feel any negativity at all there. It was...
people, like you said, the Confederate soldiers have been seen wandering the grounds, particularly around the Lee Mansion.
Yes.
which is that the original house? Is called the Lee Mansion now?
I think,
Or
yes, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Arlington House originally.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And remember, Robert E. Lee owned that, so that was one of the first houses out there. The Confederate
Okay.
soldiers are buried in that general area because that was, I mean, it was kind of a compromise for them to be buried there
Mm-hmm.
in that area. So,
Yeah.
kind of with that being said, it would make sense that you would only see them out there in that general area. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and people have also seen Robert E. Lee's wife in the house, and I think her name was
Mary.
Mary. Mary,
Mary.
and they've seen her wandering around the house. I thought that was pretty interesting. I really
Yeah.
didn't feel, and I didn't have like I didn't see any specters, any ghosts or anything when I was there. For me, it was just the overwhelming
Yeah.
presence of all of the people who died for us, right? But
Yes.
I don't know, maybe I just wasn't tuned into it the day that I was there. I don't know.
I I don't think so. I think we all are when we're there, and I think that's why we feel so much emotion when we go there. And I think again, it's just so much energy and so much emotion for everybody to really not nail down one particular thing. Like
Mhm.
honestly, even me being as sensitive as I am, it didn't really dawn on me because you know I'm not seeing. And I wanted to let everybody know that I don't see dead people all the time, like every day. Like I can close it off when I need to. And I had to close kind of myself off a little bit because that's so much energy, so much draining. And it is draining because everybody, you're like a lighthouse and everybody's like, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me,
Right.
you know? And so, a lot of people being, skeptical, which is understandable. And I respect them for their skepticism, but it's not like
Yeah.
you see on shows like, oh, I can see everything. And, we have to
Yeah.
protect ourselves and live like as normal as possible. So,
As normal.
yeah.
As normal. Yeah. People have
Is there
also
normal?
said they've seen the like ghostly funeral processions of the horses and riders as coming through and hear the wagons and hear the horse hoofbeats on the
Yes.
pavement as down the road. That would be something to experience.
Yeah. They,
Yeah.
yeah. They also have heard shots like the 21 gun salute.
Oh,
There's also been that as well, from what I've heard. I'd be curious if any of the Marines who guarded the tomb at night, if they've heard things at night. That would be
wow.
interesting
Wow.
to see.
That would
Or
be.
the guards that, patrol that area. I wonder.
So is that in the evening? Are those guards the only staff members in the cemetery, or are there other staff members that are around?
There are.
I
It
don't.
is guarded. It is.
Okay,
Just because it's so
so
close
there's
also to the Capitol as well. Or
Sure.
the White House.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
close
remember what I
to
see
Capitol.
across.
It is close to the White House.
Yeah. So it's very, very guarded. That whole area is, and also during the time that we were there, they were getting ready to shut down things because of things going on the 14th of June. They had the parade, and so the main bridge that goes across to the Mall of America, basically, isn't that what it's called? It was
Mall.
closed off. Yeah, and they have that historical bridge that they built. It's an older bridge right there. So yeah, so a lot of stuff was really closed off and kind of eerie,
Yeah, I think I don't know. I wish the amount of we're so politically divided, and I wish that I don't know if people would go and experience these cemeteries, because we have a lot of national cemeteries. It's not just Arlington. We have national cemeteries all over the United States that military you can be buried in or interred in. And um, I, I sometimes really wish that people would go experience these, because maybe it'd pull you out of that and just remember the country we are.
Yeah.
And how we came to be. Because to me, I mean, tomorrow's July 4th, right? We're celebrating the independence of our country, and we need to remember where we came from, and that we fought really, really, really hard to have these freedoms, really hard. And even though people say we've lost all of our freedoms, we may have lost some, but we're still pretty free. There's places in the world where you cannot get up and just move or make a life decision to be a doctor or to be a musician or to do a podcast. You can't do that. And we have those freedoms, and these people in these cemeteries provided that right for us. They laid down that path. So I kind of wish it was mandatory to go, in a sense. And that's not free, right? That's not a freedom. But you know what I'm saying? It's like go and experience a military burial. Go experience 21 gun salute. Go experience all of this, and then see. And maybe that'll set you right with, remembering where we came from. Not that we can't disagree and still love our country, because certainly we can. But like you said, June 14th was coming in. Everything was closing down. Things were happening all over the country. And it's like, I know it's a weird, do you remember in Bertie, you may be too young for this, Jesse, I don't know. Do you remember how we felt after 9/11?
Yes.
The flags were everywhere.
Yes.
Every house, every street, every person remembers.
I actually remember my sister coming home from leave out of the Marine Corps, and we partied for all night, and that was September 10th, and she's in her old room and she's passed out and she's sleeping, and I'm in my room and I'm sleeping, and the next thing I know is I hear my mom upstairs going, "We're getting attacked," and I'm going for something. I'm going for a weapon. I'm thinking someone's breaking in, and I'm going for something. And I go run upstairs, and I'm like, "What's going on? What's going on?" She's like, "We're getting attacked." And come to find out that the planes hit the towers, and we're watching this go on. And my show, I'm like, "Oh shit, my sister's going," because she's in the Corps, and I'm thinking, I'm thinking she's going to war, freaking out. So it's I can't describe it.
Yeah. It was a time that I don't think anybody who was here in this country will ever forget, but it brings you back to walking the grounds of these cemeteries and understanding. Understanding the freedoms that people died for to give us our country. So eternally grateful to these people. And I hope that if you if you ever have the chance to go to Arlington, please go, because you will not be disappointed in your experience of this incredible place.
Yeah. No matter who you are, where you're from, what race you are, we're all people, we're all humans. we all have one goal, is to live our life and hopefully go to the other side, wherever it may be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah. Anyway, and it is a shame you brought up, Jess, that they're talking about that they're running out of room there, and that is that's really a shame. And I wonder how much longer they have before. Yeah, that's crazy.
Are they still doing burials there?
I believe so. I believe you have to have special permission to be buried there,
Sure.
but I could be wrong. But yeah, I believe they are doing burials there. It just depends, I think, of the rank now. I know there's a lot of, again, like 4-star generals and stuff like that are buried in there.
Well, I think you have to have died like
battle,
KIA, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like in Iraq and Afghanistan, there were a lot of guys that were being interred there. Yeah, I mean, certainly the families have their choice, but
yeah.
So thank you for the topic, Jess. I know it was a moving day for you, and thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to be back next week with a different topic, and I hope that you will join us. We're always on Thursday nights at 7. We're always live, and unless the storm, because we have one raging outside right now, and I keep watching it, wondering what's going on out there as my lawn chairs go flying sideways.
There's my umbrella. It's fine. It's fine. Look, it impaled my neighbor.
But anyway, we will be back next week with another topic. And thanks, Pac-Man. We love you. We're glad that you're always in our audience. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in, and take care.
Like and subscribe. Don't forget.
That's
like
right.
and subscribe.
That's right. Make sure you like. Absolutely. We appreciate you.
Yep. And be safe on the 4th. No drinking and driving.
That's right.
Or lighting fireworks off like somebody else.